Okay, sir, what is your name?
I'm Sergio Rodriguez.
And what are we doing here today?
Right here, we are making a statement about humanity, about our conscience as a country. The reality is we have an administration that thinks it's perfectly fine to separate children from their parents. Whatever circumstance people come to this country, I think we should first listen with our hearts and view them as God has viewed us in our humanity, in who we are. And we're making a stand here today to make sure that people know that each person in this planet, each person that comes through our borders, are loved and have the same dignity and worth that each of us as citizens have.
Do you believe that even though some people around the country, we have different religious views, different spiritual views, do you think for anyone that may call themselves a spiritual person that they have a duty to stand up to this administration? Do you think as someone who says they have God inside of them, do you think that they need to stand up when something that you believe that is morally wrong happening?
I think in today's society we have this view that to stand up means that you have to be able to always go to these protests or be in a public arena. But really to stand up means to, when the occasion calls for it, you're able to say with confidence what you believe. No matter what it is, you can send a letter to the editor, you can talk with your friends, you can voice your opinion on a blog. You don't have to necessarily go to places like this, but I think we do have an ethical, moral dilemma. If you claim to be a follower of God, a follower of Jesus Christ, and you view human beings, children and adults, as nothing but chattel, right? Then you have hate in your heart. Oof. You have hate, and you cannot, I think, with a clean conscience, continue to call yourself a follower of God or a follower of Christ if you do not help these people. If you do not stand and say, we are not going to degrade individuals regardless of whatever they've done in their lives.
How do you think our country, well, in the next, let's just say the next 5 years, do you see a light at the end of the tunnel? Do you believe that people are starting to open their minds and seeing the truth? What do you think is going to happen either in the near future or in the next 5 years?
I think that this is an example here that regardless of just how bleak society can look like, how the news paints it, that there is a lot of hope, that within each one of us, God instills in us the desire to see the next day, to see la mañana, and to see that things will be a lot better, that God will turn things around for the good, and that it's our responsibility to make sure that that happens on this planet, in this earth, in our days and in our communities.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm Catherine Chakra,
And you were telling me right now that you're a licensed?
a clinical social worker.
So you've been dealing with migrant workers that have been coming into Texas then?
I have.
Migrant children, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I've been volunteering with the Interfaith Welcome Coalition at the airport, where once they've been found to be peaceful asylum seekers and do have legal rights, they are, after their detention, they bring them on the buses, and we get them from the buses to the to their flight so they can get to their final destination.
Is it so? The final destination, is that here in the United States, or they're going with family? Most of them
going with their family.
How do you think, since you're seeing it, maybe not the whole process, but you're seeing part of it, is the country doing? How are we doing? Is it an okay job? Is it a decent job? Or in the news they were saying it's like almost like concentration camps. How do you feel about it? How are we doing?
I feel very strongly that we have failed not only as a country but as Christians. I believe very strongly that this was our opportunity to show that we would be willing to go against anyone for what's right. And so I do feel very alarmed that just this time last week, we were okay with child internment camps, in such a way that our government could have it happen. It was up for debate. It was something our families and friends were being torn up about. And so it's a really scary time, because this should have been something we all agreed on, and especially as Christians.
This has been going on since I think the Clinton, Bush administration, Obama administration. How do you feel now that it's everyone is finding out about it and it's blowing up? Mostly because a lot of people don't like Trump, but if there's a actual reason to be against him, then do you think that no matter if it's a Republican or a Democrat, what do you think is the first thing we need to change?
I'm going to be real honest. I voted for Trump for a lot of reasons, pro-life. Just something that I felt like my faith had led me to do as I was instructed by others about what it meant to be pro-life. And so it would have been, if it had been anyone we needed to go against, and I think it would have been more powerful for those of us who voted him in, who are Christians, to say, I'll take responsibility for him, I'll set him right, and to say that this is wrong. This is just wrong. We were called to help the oppressed and the marginalized, and this country has always been founded on that, and it's shocking. It's shocking because it's not only that it happened, but that we have all allowed it to happen in a way to where we're dividing our families and our friends. And I think that ultimately I also want to pray and think about our Border Patrol agents, the things that we're asking our American brothers and sisters to do. Today at the airport, as I held two toddlers screaming as their mothers were getting patted down separately from us, my stomach just dropped because I thought, what if this was a permanent goodbye?
Right.
It was a 5-minute goodbye, but in those children's eyes, it did not matter.
Right.
That terror was the same terror. And I thought, our American brothers and sisters, we are asking them to do the dirty work. We're asking them to put their own trauma and their own pain and suffering and to squelch it in order to do a job, if you will. And yeah, so I think we failed everybody.
Do you have any words? There, a lot of right wingers watch my channel. So there's a lot of Trump supporters out there that are Christian. They say we're founded on Christian ideologies. What do you have to say to them if they don't see your view right now? Because a lot of people will not agree with you. How do you think being a Christian, being faithful to Christ and to God, what are they missing right now in their belief system that they're not on your side? What do you think it is? What do you have to say to them?
What I know is that there is a belief that we will face oppression as Christians. And we believe in so many ways that Trump was voted in to save us, to protect us, that he has our rights. He has an evangelical committee. But what I also believe is that the oppression or persecution we're going to face as Christians is because we did not set our guy right. That is what is going to anger, and that is what's going to be the backlash for us to face. I believe that wholeheartedly. I also believe that our Bible, in clear terms, is calling for us to protect the oppressed and the marginalized. There's nothing in the Bible that is political.
Right.
As red letter Christians, you follow God's word, you look at what he would have us do and who he would have us protect. And this is not that you have to go against Trump on everything, but of this issue, if we had stood up against him, we would have had more of a voice when the next thing comes, when the next problem comes up. At this point,
Are you a registered Republican?
I don't know if I'm registered Republican. I did vote straight Republican.
So what do you say to the Republicans out there that are in agreement with you? What do you think is the first step? Do we need to, because they feel almost as a team that we need to support our president, support what he does. But what do you think if they're totally against it? Are we voting Democrat? Are we voting Trump out? Are we voting another Republican in a couple years? What do you think is the first thing for our Senate and for our Congress coming up? Do you think we should need to turn to blue and go Democrat? What do you think?
I don't think that's a realistic thing to ask Republicans to do. I think that what is realistic is for Republicans to go back to who and what we were founded on. And if we are a pro-family, pro-life is pro-life. And, I think what is happening is we're no longer within the Republican Party if we're supporting Trump. We're no longer under the guidance of our spiritual leaders if we're supporting Trump. You had the Catholic Church come out, you had the Southern Baptist Convention come out, you had the Methodist Church has now filed child abuse charges against Sessions, a member of their own congregation. So you are no longer within the Republican Party. You are no longer under the evangelical Christian umbrella when you are supporting Trump.
Do you have any last that's going to listen, watch the video, anything whatsoever?
If you see these peaceful asylum seekers at the airport, all I ask is that you smile at them. This is their opportunity to see who we really are, and that's the first place that they get to see Americans just being Americans. And that's all I ask. If that's all you can do, if you cannot donate, if you cannot rally, if you cannot speak out, smile at them.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Sir, what is your name?
My name is Hector Mendoza.
And what are
We're attending a vigil for the immigrants who are being held in cages. So we're here to advocate for those who don't have a voice.
what exactly do we want with? I know immigration is a really like a complicated situation in our country. What is the main focus here? Is it just treating immigrants with dignity? Is it allowing anyone to like what exactly? Are we
Of course not. I don't think we can have a country where we're going to just allow anyone to come in, and I don't think that's what we're asking for. But I think what we are asking for is, if people are seeking asylum in this country, to grant them asylum. I don't think we can send people back without due process, like the president is asking for today. And we just don't want to dehumanize these people. These people come here because they have no other choice. If we look at the history in Latin America, the U.S. has done a lot to create these conditions that are causing these people to move, to want to come here. Mm-hmm. All we're asking for is, do not dehumanize these people. Treat them with kindness. If you're Christian, treat them like you are supposed to treat them. Accept them into this country.
So there's a lot of people up there, and a lot of people watch my videos. They do not agree with illegal immigration, or they're just very strict on the border. What would you like to tell them? Would you like to say anything to them exactly, just to win them over, maybe?
I would just say, look into your heart. I mean, if one day, and it probably is not going to happen in your lifetime, but one day you may have to go and seek refuge somewhere else. How do you want those people to treat you? This is America. We treat people better than this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Ready? Okay. Sir, what is your name?
My name is Hector Mendoza.
And what are
We're attending a vigil for the immigrants who are being held in cages. So we're here to advocate for those who don't have a voice.
What exactly do we want with? I know immigration is a really like a complicated situation in our country. What is the main focus here? Is it just treating immigrants with dignity? Is it allowing anyone to like what exactly? Are we
Of course not. I don't think we can have a country where we're going to just allow anyone to come in, and I don't think that's what we're asking for. But I think what we are asking for is, if people are seeking asylum in this country, to grant them asylum. I don't think we can send people back without due process, like the president is asking for today. And we just don't want to dehumanize these people. These people come here because they have no other choice. If we look at the history in Latin America, the U.S. has done a lot to create these conditions that are causing these people to move, to want to come here. Mm-hmm. All we're asking for is, do not dehumanize these people. Treat them with kindness. If you're Christian, treat them like you are supposed to treat them. Accept them into this country.
So there's a lot of people up there, and a lot of people watch my videos. They do not agree with illegal immigration, or they're just very strict on the border. What would you like to tell them? Would you like to say anything to them exactly, just to win them over, maybe?
I would just say, look into your heart. I mean, if one day, and it probably is not going to happen in your lifetime, but one day you may have to go and seek refuge somewhere else. How do you want those people to treat you? This is America. We treat people better than this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it.